What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we got to talk about Nick Cannon. For years, he turned his family into a joke. For years, his 12 children with 6 different women were a meme, a punchline, something to laugh at. But now he's finally admitting what some of us have been saying all along. This wasn't about love. This wasn't about some master plan. This was about trauma. He sat on the Breakfast Club and said it himself. After his divorce from Mariah Carey, he didn't heal. He didn't sit down and do the inner work. He ran. He ran into relationships. He ran into women, and he ran into having children he knew he couldn't raise fully. And I'm going to say this, I applaud his honesty. It takes a man to say, I was careless, I didn't think it through. But that does not erase the damage. That doesn't erase the fact that a child needs a father, not just a check in the mail. Because here's the truth, money is not a substitute for love. Access is not a substitute for presence. A father's job is more than just paying for school and vacations. It's being there to teach discipline, to teach love, and to teach life. And with 12 children spread across 6 homes, Nick Cannon just simply can't do that.
Do you think having all those kids was a response to your trauma?
Yeah, 100. Now I'm learning that now. Yeah, and it wasn't like I was acting out. It was more of being careless, being frivolous with my process because I could do it, because I had the money, because I had the access to whoever and however I wanted to move, and okay, they coming at me, they asking me, opposed to like doing a mature thing and saying, hey, well, it probably makes more sense to do this, and then obviously life happens as well. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go have 12 kids. It was more about like, yo, I'm gonna just live life and have fun, and whatever happens, I can handle it. When it probably, being almost 45 now, I can sit back and be like, yeah, if I would have thought the process through a little bit more and took time to actually do the inner work, things might have been a little different in certain scenarios.
For years, he made it seem like this was fun. He made it seem like this was something to celebrate. And other men who didn't have his money, looked at him and felt validated. They thought, if Nick did it, so can I. But now the joke is over. Now the laughter has died down, and what's left? 12 children who need a full-time father. Nick said it himself. If I had done the inner work, if I had healed after my divorce, I would have moved different. And that's the part that hits the hardest. Because what he's saying is this: I was broken. I didn't fix it. And instead of fixing me, I created more brokenness. And let's be clear, I'm not calling Nick a bad man. I'm calling him a man who confused resources with responsibility. A man who confused having money with being a father. And this is where the lesson comes in. To everyone watching, to every man listening, please understand this. You can't outspend trauma. You can't outwork fatherhood. You can't buy love. Children don't remember the gifts. They remember the presence. They remember who was there. And when you're not, the absence burns deeper than any money could cover. So yeah, Nick is 45 now. And yeah, he's admitting it out loud, but the damage is done. And the children will carry that reality far longer than the internet carries his jokes. In the end, Nick Cannon's story is not about celebrity. It's about choices. It's about a man who went through pain, didn't heal, and then let that pain multiply. And it's about the cost of thinking money can do the job of love. So let me say this, I applaud his honesty, but honesty does not erase consequences. Honesty doesn't give back a child a time when they needed their father in the room. Nick Cannon ain't no monster, he's not evil, but he's a lesson that every man with trauma needs to hear. Do the inner work, heal yourself before you try to build a family. Because if you don't, your pain won't just stay with you, it'll be handed down. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.